Good morning, everybody. Welcome to episode 39. I think it's episode 39. Yes, episode 39. My apologies. I still have not written down how many I've done. And I know. I will get to it when I actually have some time. Anyways, welcome to episode 39 of Coffee Talk with Hazel. I'm Hazel, and this time I have coffee. So, as always, thank you to everybody who's been showing support, who continues to show support. It still means a lot to me, especially in spite of everything that's going on. Yeah. So, once again, we are at the park. My daughter actually has some friends to play with. So, yay. So I didn't really have a specific topic I wanted to talk about today. Just, same as always. Whatever comes to mind. My leg is killing me right now. It's like every time I put pressure on my heel. Ugh. But anyways, I'll be alright. So I was walking my son to school this morning. I was walking, they were riding their scooters. And as you can see, I'm rocking an Ariel shirt. Anyway, we were passing by these group of middle school kids, I guess they are, and they started calling me some names, fat ass, fatty, shit I've dealt with my entire life, so it doesn't bother me. I try to remember like how I was when I was younger, and how I was when I was with my friends, and I remember my friends making fun of bigger people, and even though them themselves weren't exactly twigs, except for one of them, but whatever. I remember when they would make fun of those people, I'd be like, why are you calling them names? Like, you don't know what they have to go through. You don't know what they're dealing with. And then, of course, they'd start making fun of me, which, it's whatever. But kind of like what I talked about yesterday about bullying and shit like that. I mean, the earliest I can remember saying a cuss word was, I was in 2nd grade, and I was walking to school, and I had this little 4th grade, sorry. I was walking to the bus stop with my second oldest brother, and I don't know, me being me, I guess, I tripped, and I was carrying this little picture frame I had. It was a heart with 2 Dalmatians on either side, and it said best friends. And I had a picture of my best friend, Amanda, and it was show and tell, so I was taking it, to show off. And when I fell, I broke my picture frame. And I just remember yelling, "Fuck." And then, of course, brothers being brothers, my brother was all, "I'm going to tell Mom," and blah, blah, blah. But I bribed him with, "I'll do your homework if you don't tell on me." The moral of that story is that, when I'm hanging out with my kids, and my daughter does something, my son will tell on her, and vice versa. My son does something, my daughter will tell on him. And in the end, either way, I know that somebody's gonna get in trouble, because they weren't supposed to be doing that in the first place. And so I'll take the heat for it, I'll tell my mom, "Oh no, that was me." Just because, probably because they're my kids, and I don't want them to get in trouble, I can only, I try so hard to protect them from everything, and there's some things that unfortunately I can't protect them from, which really gets to me, like disappointment. I can't protect them from that, but I do my best to try to make sure that there's not so much disappointment. Unfortunately, with them having the father that they do, it doesn't always work. So, I don't know how many people who watch these read my website, or how long they've been reading my website, but getting sick again, or still. Anyways, back in November, I had written a post. I wrote a post. I wrote a blog, and it was talking about how, I'm reserved, how I have my heart locked away with a gazillion locks that require a gazillion and one key, and how I threw all the keys into the never-ending bottomless ocean, and that if I was to ever find a man who cared enough about me, he would find all of those keys. Probably sounds girly. Maybe it is. That was gross. But many of those keys have to do with my kids, because I can't just let people come into my life, which is their life, and you know, get them to like them or whatever the case may be, just to leave again. Or not again, but just to leave. But, you know, that goes for anybody. You know, like when people are like, oh, well, I want to meet your kids. I'm like, my kids love everybody. They get attached to everybody. Like, last week when we were on the light rail, not the train, when we were on the light rail, honestly, we were just going to ride the light rail all the way to Mesa. And if I didn't have to go to DES, we probably would have, you know, just to spend the day out, you know, having our own adventure. I mean, why not, right? Maybe one of these days. But anyways, so we were waiting for the light rail to come back towards Phoenix. Well, Glendale, really, because we were in downtown Phoenix. But while we were waiting for the light rail, there was this lady who kept like kind of standing close to us, and there was this lady standing there, and I had given my kids some cookies as a snack because when we were at child support, they decided to eat their sandwiches hours early. I know for next time to pack more food, but anyway. So my daughter ended up dropping a cookie on the chair, and she went to eat it, and I grabbed it, and I was like, you don't want to eat that. That's gross. I mean, she's a savage. She eats ants and bugs, which, I mean, I did too, so I'm not surprised. But, you know, being a 4-year-old, she started crying, and, you know, I told her I'd give her a replacement cookie, and the lady that was standing close by, you know, she came over and sat next to my daughter and started talking to her, you know, telling her how she doesn't want to eat that, it's gross and germs and all this other shit. And, you know, like most parents, they'd be like, oh my god, get away from my kid, you know, but my daughter just talked and talked and talked, and I know, you know, you should teach kids the whole stranger danger thing. I don't let my kids go anywhere by themselves, though, so. But anyways, don't judge my parenting. So, we get on the light rail, you know, and my daughter says she wants to sit next to the woman. So I'm like, you know, I don't have a problem with that. And we were on the light rail, and my daughter was just talking to the woman. And the woman put her hand on my shoulder. And she said, I don't know you, I don't know what you're going through, but I have to tell you that I admire you. You seem like a really good mom with a heart of gold, and you look like you've been through hell and back, but I've never seen somebody stand so strong. And that touched me, you know, like, I don't toot my own horn very often, but, you know, I could be stronger, no doubt. I could be. But I could also be weaker. I could be one of those women that, you know, poor me and blah de blah de blah. I can't even pretend to be that way. So anyway, So, me and my kids and the woman, we all got off at the same stop, you know, and she ended up giving me her number and told me to call her in 2 weeks. And she said that, you know, if I needed somebody to babysit my kids, she'd be more than happy. And